Next up is the character interaction throughout the show, which is greatly shown in the filler arc, the Excalibur arc. Sword Art Online 2 featured a 3-episode filler arc that was about the gang going on a new quest to save ALO and acquire the Sword Excalibur. And if I'm going to be completely honest, these 3 episodes were the funnest that I've had watching this show. It's just these friends going on a quest, but the character interaction is what makes it so great. Since it isn't just Kirito with Insert Girl here, just like the Extra Edition movie, we are able to see the girls interact with each other and Klein, not just Kirito. It brings out some truly funny moments, and it was enjoyable just because it was doing what the show does best, putting their characters into a video game quest with amazing fight sequences. Definitely one of my favorite parts of Sword Art Online 2. Something else that was greatly improved from the original season was that the first half of Sword Art Online 2 had an amazing villain. Heathcliff/Kayaba was an okay villain that didn't get too much attention, and Sugiyo was one of the most pathetic villains that I've seen in all my years of watching anime. Kayaba! The Gun Gale Online arc gave us an awesome villain in the form of Death Gun. Holy sh**, Death Gun actually terrified me in some parts of the show. Just by the design alone, you can tell that Death Gun is a badass villain through and through. With a menacing mask, a creepy cloak, and what seems to be the power to kill people in the real world through the game, he was definitely a force to be reckoned with. Since Death Gun was one of the Red players in SAO, Kirito had multiple flashbacks to when his faction fought the Red Group faction, and he was forced to actually kill someone not only in the game, but in the real world too. There's actually some interesting development to go through, and it was well shown in this season. Death Gun was also a villain, later revealed at the end of the arc, to be someone who believed the virtual world to be the correct reality and not the real world. This discussion is what brought out my favorite part of Sword Art Online 2, the theme of the real world versus the virtual world. I remember when I was watching Sword Art Online last year and being disappointed as each episode passed, that it would get better if it used the reality theme like it seemed to tease a little bit in this one shot in the first opening. It was a concept that I went into the show expecting, but didn't receive at all. This season, however, presented that theme to me in 2 different ways, and it was perfect. As I mentioned before, Death Gun was someone who believed that the virtual world was in fact a correct reality. I mean, the dive gear do make you seem that you truly live in this world, since the futuristic technology makes it happen. In the same arc with Death Gun, Sinon also felt stronger in GGO, as opposed to the real world. In the game, she was a strong player that everyone respects, while in the real world, she gets bullied all the time with having flashbacks to her tragic childhood. The reality theme was presented very well in this part of the season, and it only got better from there. And to the third arc of the season, and we have Yuki, who is so medically sick that putting her in the dive machine full time is what seems to keep her alive longer. So in this sense, being in the virtual world is what's keeping her alive. In ALO, Yuki is the strongest player ever known, even stronger than Kirito. But in the real world, everyone in her family is dead, and she is not too far behind them. So, the virtual world becomes more real to her since it is in fact what is keeping her alive, and the only place where she can truly be herself. Asuna gets a little bit into this theme as well in this part of the show. Despite her mother's orders, Asuna wants to continue to go to the school built for the SAO survivors and continue playing the virtual games with her friends. Again, this is some really good stuff. But what is by far my favorite thing that this theme implemented into this season, in fact the entire franchise, is that it may have finally answered the question on why Kayaba trapped thousands of people in SAO. And it all links up to that full-time dive machine that I mentioned before. So though Sword Art Online 2 did carry some problems from the original show, its improved female protagonists, character interactions, villain, and the theme that I wanted to see so badly in the beginning of this franchise is what has transformed Sword Art Online from one of my most detested anime one of my favorites.